So there is not a much understanding about the masculine and the feminine sexual energy. See, we have couples making love, and the love making is also very routine, and sometimes it also becomes monotonous and repetitive. And we don't know how to deal with it. A lot of times the woman says she is not interested in sex. The man is unable to understand why. I have men who have reached out and said, we do everything for her. We help her in housework. We, love her so much. We take care in raising the children together. And yet the woman is not interested in making love to me. And they are completely clueless. They don't understand why is it happening. And there's a deeper reason to it. Sex is something which is mystical. A lot of us think sex it's just that hard, fast, super stimulated, that 2 minutes of peak and followed by, this is what, sex to most of us means. We understand sex as, and we are not at fault. This is what the mainstream media and the porn has taught us. Like, this is what sex is. It's just 2 minutes, peak followed by a release and you are done. Sex is a very higher force. It is the fundamental force. It is the force that has created life. We are here because our parents had sex. This is as simple as that. Now, what is deeper to it? Is it something that is just, the genitals meeting and the hormones and it's done? As I said, it's not. It's an energy. Sex is an energy more than an act. It is a core to my identity. When I say I'm a female, so my sex is female. So sex is our identity. Who we are sexually informs the world around us, how we see the world, how we interact with the world. It all depends on how you identify yourself sexually. If you are sexually inhibited, if you are on the bed and you are like very reluctant to open yourself up and make love with your partner, in your outside life, you will be the same. So, let us understand the energy aspect of sex. Let us understand what is masculine and what is feminine. The masculine sexual energy is like fire. It is quick to ignite and quick to extinguish. It starts at the center and it goes to the edges, just like a fire. And that is why, for men, it doesn't take a lot of time to be sexually activated or sexually interested. And even, if you talk about the arousal time for a man is between 5 to 7 minutes, whereas for a woman it is 15 to 17 minutes. So there is a huge gap. Now, the feminine sexual energy is the opposite of the masculine sexual energy. And I'm not talking about the genders here, like this is men and this is a woman. I'm just talking about the identity, irrespective of the gender. So the feminine sexual energy is more like a water. It takes some time for water to boil up. And once it boils, then it takes a lot of time to cool it up. Now, the problem happening in Indian bedrooms is that we don't know this fundamental difference. We don't know that a woman takes her own time for arousal and to prepare herself for the lovemaking. Now the man reaches and he is he's tired and he has done work and now he wants to make love as quickly as possible because this is how his sexuality is. But the woman is not ready. She needs to be ready. And talking about most women, they are disconnected from their sexuality. As you know that there is so much of repression and you can't talk about it and there is so much of silence. A lot of women are disconnected from their eroticism, their sexuality. So she is not comfortable in her sexuality, and top of it, she is expected to suddenly become like, a woman who is like, she is all horny and she is all like, moving and grooving. It doesn't work like that. And she is stunned and she is shocked. Her system goes in shock when she is again, approached by a man in that, being so quickly. And thus, she doesn't find the act interesting and she withdraws. She starts recoiling inside and she is not ready. Like for the next act, she will say that I'm having some headache and maybe some work, but she's not interested in that because it is not giving her the joy that she deserves, and her body wants, her body wants a certain kind of treatment. As I said, that her body takes time for arousal. So I'm going to give you one quick tip for all the women who feel sexually inhibited. So if you are feeling sexually inhibited, you don't need to really force yourself to say yes to the man. What you can do is, during the day, you can take time to simmer. Simmer means being open to curiosity, and it's just that, okay, I'm allowing myself to see what is unfolding. The second tip, what I would prescribe to women is, you can shake your hips just like this, So when you shake your hips, it actually unblocks your sexual energy, because if you see, our hips, our pelvis is the seat of our sexual center. This is where our genitals reside. And a lot of energy gets blocked, especially by the kind of sitting, we sit on chairs for long hours, you're working, so the energy gets stuck. So the energy has to be released at the level of pelvis, and that is why a little bit of shaking just like this will release the energy and will help you connect to your own sexuality. For the man has to be open to experience new kinds of lovemaking, which is not as quick as he expects or as he wants, but which is something different. So it is all about bringing different flavors of lovemaking into the act by the virtue of feminine and masculine. So being different as lovers, it doesn't mean that lovemaking has to suffer. It only gets richer because now there are newer perspectives that we need to explore.